This is Chapter 8 of Bazerman by Lindsay Johnson. At the very beginning of the chapter, Bazerman made this quote. He went on to explain in detail that the text is how all of these concerns which he brought forth are solidified. The form of the text should be easy for the reader to understand so that they may digest the information and act upon it appropriately. Bazerman explained that a writer typically knows what to write depending on the situation, which in and of itself has limited range of choices. For example, in the case of a party announcement, most writers would know that you should include characteristics such as who is doing the inviting, the nature of the event, and when and where the party will be hosted. Of course, you must choose your words appropriately ahead of time, so that you may correctly interpret the information. You wouldn't want to send out invitations without committing to a venue for the party and making sure you have the correct funds to afford it. Bazerman suggests that when working with familiar genres, you go back and look at examples in order to get an idea of what to write. Sometimes doing the minimum of what is required in the situation is okay. For example, when shipping a package, all which is required is a shipping label. Adding humor or a political comment is not necessary and would confuse the receiver. Although, sometimes in a writing situation, you may need to do more work than the minimum. Using the same party example from before, sometimes you may want to build anticipation through clever words and pictures on the invitations. Just as with the addition of phrases and graphics in a party invitation, a student must not only recognize the general requirements of their academic papers, but also specific expectations of an outstanding job in order to distinguish their paper above and beyond the others. More than anything, academic readers want their writer to bring something fresh while presenting that they analyzed disciplinary questions previously presented to them. A common problem for students is that they get lost in their thoughts and may regurgitate them on paper. These regurgitations can often be hard to make sense of by the writer's audience. A way to deal with what is great internally but outwardly jumbled is to wait for a moment of inspiration. Writer's intuition is more likely to strike if we are regularly at our keyboard or have a pen in hand, so that we are ready for when the moment comes. Another solution is to develop rituals and routines that may ease the mind, such as drinking your favorite coffee from your favorite mug, or leaving the time in the day where you do the best writing available. Sometimes the topics we may be writing about are too controversial, emotionally or socially. The remedy? Create outlines, random sentences, and free writing journals. These allow you to get the words flowing without committing to anything. This is what is called low-stakes writing. When writing your first draft, you may come up with an important phrase, but it may not be clear where it will fit. That's okay. Keep developing the phrase and explain it in depth with the knowledge that you can always go back and change or delete it. Your first draft doesn't always have to be a draft of your final product. It can be a piece of free write or an outline. For example, when you write a research paper, sometimes you must submit a proposal long before any conclusions are able to be drawn. This interim draft can help you think through what you might want to say in your final draft. The key is to trust that the process you form will give you the courage to face the uncertainty of the blank page.